I'm going to show you the final buffing on this. Now, I live out in the desert for one, so I got to leave all my buffing stuff covered up. I had my waffle face inside this bag so I wouldn't get dust on it, or should I say dirt. But come on over here, let me go over what I use real quick. I use rubbing compound 3M right there. That's my main buffing compound. And then we're gonna go over this with this. It's called Perfected Machine Polish. And this is where this comes in, the waffle face. Now, what you're gonna see is probably gonna be called quote unquote old school. Because nowadays, the biggest thing is the orbital buffer that's got all the foam pad, the different 20 or 50 different foam pads that you use. This one for that wax, this one for the, well, kind of like this right here. Look, see how there's a yellow one and a white one, and then they have pink ones and red ones and blue ones, and every single one is supposed to be a different situation. I don't believe in all that shit. I believe in double-sided wool pads. That's what this is. And the black waffle face 3M and this stuff here, okay?
Simple, easy.
Simple and quick. You know, you don't have to buy orbital buffers. You don't have to buy 16 different foam pads, 37 different fucking waxes and all this other crap. So what I do is I got this bottle here, and our buddy Ivan up there in Blanding,
Yep.
he never even knew about these bottles. So I ended up giving him one. And he was so excited that day because he said, gosh, I've been buffing all this time and I've never had a squirt bottle. So I take this, shake it up very, very well. Now remember, we got this down to 8,000. And I mean, what was it, 45 minutes ago? An hour ago?
Not very long.
I've already got this whole car buffed. It's filthy dirty, but it's buffed. Now, to finish the car out, I gotta rinse it off and wash it to get all the wax off so I can go over it with this. But when we do this section here, we won't have to wash it off. It'll be clean enough where I can just show you this right here. So the first thing we want to do is to make sure that you have safety glasses. That's very important. And then what we got here, we got a buffer spurt, buffing spurt. And we're going to go ahead and clean our wool pad off. Okay, now I buff at 1800 RPM with the wool pad and this. I don't know what the orbital sander shit is. If you want to use an orbital buffer and all that, that's your business. I'm showing you how I do it. You can see I got plenty of buffing pads. Here's another one right here. I got another one down here. Here's one in the bag. So I like to use wool. I got a variable speed buffer. It has a variable speed right here, and the trigger itself is variable speed as well. So we're going to go ahead and buff this. Now remember, this was at 8,000. Now one thing I do want to show you, watch the way the buffer turns. Do you see which way that's turning, Body Shop Girl?
Clockwise.
Okay, so at your angle, it's clockwise. Okay, at my, yeah, it would be clockwise. So the buffer is going this way. So that means that when we buff this edge right here, we want that buffer to go this way. Do you see what I'm saying? We don't want it to go down like this. Or hold on, where would down be? Yeah, we don't want to do it right here, because what's happening is that buffer is going down, which will burn our edge. So we want to use this side of the buffer where it's going up. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, we're going to go around this edge right here. So what I'll do is I'll take my buffer and I will bring it around just like that. Do you see how I did that? So now, everywhere I go on the edge, it's going away from it instead of into it. And then, of course, over here, it's going to be a little bit more technical to tell you how to do it. You're just going to have to watch. But you always want to keep the buffer going. You see what I'm saying? So like right here, you want it to go like this. But then on this side, you want it to go like this. Don't ever go into the curve because you will burn the paint off the edge. And if you burn the paint off the edge of this, you're going to be screwed. If you burn it off of here, you're going to be okay because you'll be able to touch this edge up, the door edge, with a brush. So let's go ahead and buff this real quick. It's going to take a few minutes, but I will tell you this. Using the 8000 and the system I showed you is going to save you a lot of time and material. So I cut my stuff off in sections. This back area right here is one section, then I'll do the middle, and then that. That'll be 3 sections. So we're going to go ahead and do this right here. I'm going to go ahead and start it off by getting my wax moved around. And this is the part many the body shop girl hates, because the wax flies everywhere. And if you're wondering, hey, you're doing that in your paint booth, you're going to contaminate your paint with, no, I'm not. Once I get done buffing it, I will immediately take the car out, pressure wash the paint booth, and it'll be fine. We got somebody out there. Okay.
Sure sounds like it.
Yeah, let me do this. Okay, so Minnie has work to do, so what we're going to do is we're going to get the tripod, and then while Minnie's out there doing that, we will set the tripod up and let the tripod be our holder. And then Minnie will be back in a minute to take over. So we're going to set that up here. So this is kind of a live situation for all the, I got a lot of videos online about buffing and color sanding, but you know, it's always good to refresh your mind and show people the way that I do it. So let's go ahead and buff this. And once again, the first thing you want to do is you want to work your wax into the paint job. And I would not go over 1800. You will burn the paint off. 1800 is the limit. Do you see how I'm doing that? I'm bringing it because this is an edge. We want to go away from the edge. We don't want to go into it. So we kind of got a little bit wild putting the wax on. I put a little bit too much. We're going to go ahead and clean our buffing pad off. Always important to keep your buffing pad clean. The reason is the wax will build up on that, and if the wax builds up too much, it will literally turn the pad hard and start burning the paint instead of buffing it. I see a little bit of a dull spot right in here. I'm going to go ahead and take my rubbing compound. We're just going to go ahead and hit it right there, just like that. And now that section is done. We're going to go ahead and continue to do our middle section right here. And I put a lot of wax on. I'm going to go ahead and move my way into the top of this section right here. Remember to always keep the buffer going away from the curves. You can always move your buffer, watch the wheel as it turns. Do not go into the edges, you will burn the paint. And that really came out nice. That's all we're going to do right there. Let's go ahead and get this lower section, and then we're going to move into our perfected polish. This is where you really want to be careful, is in this area here. Let me go ahead and bring the camera over here, get you a better angle of what's going on. We got the tripod going, so we got to get the tripod in action. So let's go ahead and set this up over here on this angle. There we go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to buff that little area there. Now this is dangerous, people. This is where you really want to be careful, is in this kind of action right here. A lot of people are going to say, well, why don't you use that little buffer you got, that little one? I've been doing this so long, I don't need to use it. You might want to use a smaller buffer head to do the job. But this is the area that's going to be really dangerous for you. You got a lot of sharp edges right here. You got to be really, really careful. Let's go ahead and see what happens. Now, one more thing. This is a heavy buffer. I'm letting the buffer do the work. All I'm doing is guiding it. I'm not pushing on the buffer, especially on these sharp edges. A lot of sharp edges here, people. Really, really careful. Okay, I'm going to have to bring the camera right here because I got to get at a different angle. And this is where it gets real testy, right in here, guys. We don't want to burn the paint on any of these edges. If that happens, I'll have to blend paint and clear coat this whole quarter panel. So we want to be really careful with this big buffer. There we go, right there. I don't recommend anybody to take this big buffer and do what I just did. More than likely, you're going to burn the edges. So that's why you have the little kit, the touch-up kit, to do stuff like that. Okay, so what we've done, we have buffed the quarter panel. You saw how quick that was. We are actually done with our wool pad. We're going to go ahead and take that off. And what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and get the perfected and the waffle face. So I'm going to go take my waffle face, I'm going to put it on here. Now they make two different waffle faces. 3M makes two. They make a white one and a black one. I like the black one. Some people prefer the white one, but this is the one that I use. And these are not cheap. There's 2 in a pack, and I think they're 35 bucks. The way that you clean that is we're going to go ahead and take our buffing, and then I'm just going to go like this. Well, it's real good. And then that will remove the old wax from our pad. Now we're going to turn this down. We're going to turn the speed down to approximately 1400. All right. Actually, we're going to go a little lower than that. We're going to go to, we're going to do 1400 due to the fact that I got a variable speed trigger. So we're at, let's go to, there we go. Okay, here's 1400. Okay, now, this is the trick with this stuff. You do not use a lot of this. And when I say a lot, I'm talking drops is all you use. You do not put this on like you saw me put this on. And another thing is this pad here will burn that paint 20 to 50 times quicker than the wool pad. This is a very sharp edge on this pad. So before we do anything, we want to get that shaken up. And then we want to make sure that, okay, it looks like it's going to come out. All right, so we're ready to go ahead and start this. We're going to start on this side over here, and then we'll work our way to the back. Okay, Minnie's Body Shop Girl's back, but you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and use the tripod. I don't need your help. Go ahead and do what you need to do. Thank you very much. Minnie the Body Shop Girl, we'll see you later.
Thank you.
Okay, let me get the camera set up. And once again, this is a quick lesson on buffing, sanding and buffing your paint. All right, you can see the beautiful red. This is a factory color red. This is called Candy Apple Red. It's beautiful. And wait till you see the finish after I do this. Do you see how much I'm using here, guys? Look at this. Do you see that? That's all we need. That's it. That is all we need. Now, we might need to put a little bit more on due to the fact that the pad will suck in the wax. So once we do this, we might have to add a little bit, initially add a little bit more, but once we get our pad nice and well maintained, using groomed, you might call it, then we just use a couple drops. So let's go ahead and start here and get this over with. This is the most dangerous area. We're going to come down here. Let's get some of this wax. We'll go around this edge right here. And now before I flip the camera around and me move, I'm going to go ahead and get this one more time. Okay, this area is done. It's ready to be washed. Let me go ahead and move the camera this angle here, just like that. And I gotta grab my wax. And now I'm gonna come over here and let's check the camera, just double check to make sure we're in sync here. Okay, so here we are right there. All right, so I hope everybody's learning from this. I know this is kind of a boring video, but there's actually a lot of people out there. I've been getting emails and such, phone calls. I actually got a couple phone calls that when I buff this, if I can make a color sand buffing video, so that's what I'm doing. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get this top section. Now we've already got that, this is done. This is a done deal. All we need to do now is wash this off. This area, when I get this done, all we'll have to do is wash it and then hand wax it, and we are done. All right, let's go ahead and move that camera over here. And then I think we're gonna be finished. So let me get the camera set up, because I wanna make sure everybody sees everything. Sorry for the inconvenience. This is live action, people. This is how it is when you do live action. You can already see the gloss in that quarter panel. It's just beautiful. Very deep, very lustrous. And it's going to win trophies. I have a feeling the owner is going to love his car. It's just day and night difference here, guys. If you haven't seen any of the videos on this car, please visit my YouTube channel and find the Mustang videos, and you will be shocked. You will be shocked. You will drop your drawers on what I had to do to this car to get it to where it's at. I'm gonna have to clean my pad off. We got some wax buildup on it, so we're gonna take it like this and I'm gonna get it just like that. And there you go, guys, it's done. That is a finished product right there. We need to wash it. We need to dry it off. We're gonna use a chamois to dry it. We don't want water spots all over it. And then once we wash it and get it dry, we'll pull all the paper and everything off. And then we will hand wax it. I actually use a McGuire's wax. It's a special wax, professional wax. I think it's McGuire's number 21. It's a silicone-based wax that just really works wonders. And we'll hand wax this later. We won't be hand waxing it right away because we still got tons of work to do to it. But the car is buffed. I got to wash all this wax off. Okay, look at that right there. So I'll wash all that off using my sponge and my water, and then I will go over it with the Perfect It machine polish, and then we will wash the car and it'll be done. So I hope you learned from this. And there was, like I said, several guys that wanted me to make a quick video on how to color sand, or the way that I do it. And I hope that this helped you out. I want to do a shout out for our buddy in California. His name is Danny Roach. Danny Roach is having a lot of serious problems out there. He lives in Los Angeles, right next to the city. And he sees a lot of action going on, and very, very depressed situation. Grew up there all his life, I believe. And he has leg sores on his legs, big giant carcass leg sores, and now his back is starting to hurt. He gets injections, I believe, 3 times a week for his legs. He's having a very hard time with the medical industry in California, and basically everything else going on in California. So we want to say a big prayer for our buddy Danny Roach out in California, and let's all just say a little prayer for him, that he gets better and things can look up and his life will turn around. This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete. Color sand and buffing. This is the Mustang. The owner's gonna love this car. I gotta finish it out. I've been working on this since about 6:30 this morning, and I wanna get this stage done. I still gotta paint all the little parts on it, and then color sand and buff those. And this is the job I hate the most, is color sand and buffing. I hate color sand and buffing. It's a filthy, slimy, scummy job. And people are probably out there saying, well, he makes it look easy. He makes it look really super easy. I make it look easy because I've been doing it all my life. Take your time, relax, and be patient. Do a section and look at your car as a checkerboard. You want to do a little section at a time. You don't want to look at the big picture. All you want to look at is this section right here. And you want to move down to that section. Then over here, and over here, and over here. You saw me do that. That's what I do. That's the way to do it. That's the way to get it done the right way. And that's the way that you're going to concentrate on not burning the paint or ruining the paint where you have to repaint. This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete. Color sand and buffing a car. I don't even know if you can we see that gloss? Not really. Not in this light. I can see the camera. I can see it from there. I don't know if you can, but we're trying to get this car done. We're not on the downhill side yet, guys. If I was only painting the car, we would be on the downhill side. That was the initial situation, that I was only going to paint this car. And now I'm putting a lot of it together. So we'll see you later. Take it easy. And always remember, the brighter side of the bridge is on your side, because the only way you make it bright is if you turn the light on in your head and actually start using your thinking tank. Take it easy.